Hey yo, what up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the Wise Tech NFL DFS Wise stream. Wrapping up
It's a show.
week 11 with some Monday Night Football action. Some pretty good primetime games this week, man. We had the Chiefs Raiders last night. Now we got the Rams Bucs tonight. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. One treasy, that is. And I'm joined once again by the GOAT, the true OG, Paulie D. You can find him on Twitter with Paulie with 8 Ds. Paulie, what's happening?
What's up, man?
Hey, shit, man. I'm just like ready to finish up week 11. I think, like, painfully on these slates, like, when I'm wrong completely about shit, it's easier for me to accept than when I get a lot of things right. I was just one or two pieces away, which I think this kind of, right? Like, this slate was like a one or two piece away. Just like, and it frustrates you. You know?
Yo, like midway through the fours, my thing was like around 2000, and it was steadily rising. I'm like, this is good. And then, like, I thought I needed a Keenan Allen touchdown, but I guess I needed it on the ground because a lot of teams with Herbert passed me. Like, I just had Keenan, and then, like, I needed Aaron Jones to do something. He didn't do nothing second half. And I ended up kind of just like falling back down to like 900, 800, something around there. But like I thought I was on the move. I'm like, oh, this is good. There's not much going on. I got these guys at low juice, and it just didn't happen. But it felt good to kind of be in position, make a little bit of money, and not lose. Which is good.
All day. My frustrations were really like just literally missing like the one player. Like obviously I had the Herbert squad with Williams, with Keenan. It was looking glorious. I had Henry on that team who, while he wasn't no smash and play, he was on a lot of winning teams because he was a way to get you that 19-20 without paying all the way up for Dalvin Cook. So everything was looking great. And I just didn't put everything together, man. I wrote up Thielen as a leverage play, but didn't have him on that specific team. The running backs, I told you I was in between Harris. I was in between all them people, Harris and all these mid-tier Duke, all these guys. And the one I didn't want to bite on that was kind of obvious. And shout out to the nation. There were some people in the Slack that were on him. Antonio Gibson, he was in a lot of the winning combinations in that same range. So just literally like one or two plays with and all in all, like I saw a lot of people, like I know Fritz did well again, man. He seems like he does well every week in cash games. Joey's bragging because he won the listener league on DraftKings, so he's giving himself a little pat on the back in the chat. Shout out to Joey. DraftKings, bro. I will say Joey's not a big DraftKings player. He put up like a 173 in the listener league, so
Did he realize that I wasn't in it this week?
Oh yeah, he was victory lapping though, hard. You know what I mean? Horde. I went with the Lamar team in that, which was a disaster. Which, like, Lamar, I mean, we got Lamar on Thanksgiving. We'll talk about him on Thanksgiving, which reminds me, for those of you nations, very special week, it's Thanksgiving week. So what does that mean? It means we have football on Thursday. I mean, a 3-game slate on Thursday. That means you get more content from the nation. So everything's as usual. Tuesday night, tomorrow night, be myself, Patio Joe, doing the first look for week 12. Wednesday night, Patio Joe and myself will do a Y stream for the Thursday night games, and Thursday morning you'll get articles if you're subscribed to YSeek.com from Paulie D covering GPPs, Patio Joe covering cash games, and me doing the core plays with projections, cheat sheets, all that goody McGoodigans. So that'll all be available on Thursday. With that said, I guess we'll save the Lamar Jackson talk and all that shit for then, and save it, bro. Save it. Just shove it. And right now, we've got a game to discuss. We've got, Rams, Bucs. Seems like a pretty damn good game. We have a 48 total, down from 48.5. The Bucs currently 4-point favorites at home. Last year these two teams played. Now, obviously, they were a little bit different, right? Jameis Winston was the quarterback, blah, blah, blah. But this game, it was like 55-40 or some crazy shit. It was a crazy high-scoring game the last time when these guys played last year. Again, different team. Not the same. The Rams have been way more run-heavy. The Bucs had famous Jameis back then. I don't even think Ramsey played in that game. I'm not sure if he was even there yet, but craziness. Paulie, what are your overall thoughts coming into this one?
I'm expecting a shootout here, even though I do think these are two good defenses. I think they're even better offenses. And, these teams have in the past put up some pretty big scores. and I think they're both kind of vulnerable to the pass. Although the Rams are decent against the pass, but the Bucs are so well rounded, they'll be able to do whatever they're having success with. And I expect the Rams to be able to throw all over the Bucs today. So I think we see a very, very high score and lots of scoring. In DFS wise, the double kicker with 4 studs build is firmly in play, and that's where I'm at.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a couple different scenarios. My one concern with like the super like get all the dudes, all the studs, whatever you want to call them, is I do got some concerns with Jared Goff offensively, and we'll go ahead and get into that. But Jared Goff is missing an offensive lineman. We saw one of the veterans, one of their top tackles got hurt, and Goff under pressure is fucking horrendous. And the Bucs are second in sacks, and I think fourth in QB hits overall, or maybe it's flop, something like that. And the Rams are coming in as missing alignment on the road. So I have some concerns with the Rams part of the ball. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. We'll start things off with the Rams side of the ball since they are the road team, Paulie. Break it down, dirty style.
All right. I like Goff quite a bit to do the dirty, throw a lot of TDs. I don't expect them to have much success on the ground at all. I'm really not interested in Henderson or Brown. I don't mind Cam Akers. I think he'll be in on like third downs. We saw him get 10 carries last week, and I think he's kind of like dynamic enough to maybe bust one, and he's cheap enough we don't have to do that much. So like if he's the one punting your build, I don't mind him, but otherwise I'm really off the Rams run game. Love the pass game. Josh Reynolds, probably my favorite play on the whole slate. Really like Cooper Kupp. Really like Robert Woods. And at tight end, I like Gerald Everett. I'm not really into Tyler Higbee, but those 4, with Josh Reynolds being the highlight play for me, price-wise, and just all the like upside numbers that we research, he really stands out, and he leads the team in air yards. He's second on the team in targets the last 3 weeks. He's leads the team in average depth of target. Like everything that like points to upside is there, and I think you can beat the Bucs deep. So he's the guy for me today, and he put him in the captain spot, really opened shit up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had like 5 catches for 140 and 2 touchdowns and just like ripped open the slate for me. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Like the kickers on both sides. And I do think you can play the defense because there could be a pick 6 or a fumble 6 or whatever 6 and, some sacks aplenty. But ultimately, I think there's too much scoring in this game and the defenses end up not being that valuable.
Holla at your boy real quick. Shout out to OGMG. Long time White Steak Nation member. Got married over the weekend. Shout out to Nicole, his now wife. Very, very happy for y'all. Mm-hmm. We missed
pretty good timing winning that 15 views a few weeks ago.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, shout out to MG, man. I'm sure that was big. But MG had asked that we shout her out because says that she don't believe that we're real.
Yo. We ain't real, baby. You right.
We as real as it gets, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not forget. As real as it gets, though. Going back to the Rams, so I really like Cooper Kupp. He's expensive, but the slot has really been the vulnerability for the Bucs. In general, they've been good outside. They got good pass rush. So overall, I think that Goff will have to settle for screens and have to settle for throwing over the middle of the field. So Goff would be my favorite. Reynolds is getting massive targets and he's cheap, Paulie. So I'm all for that. I totally get it. I got nothing bad to say about that one. Woods. I think if Woods has a big game, I think it's going to be via the screen route. I think they're going to get him the ball in space and he breaks out for big plays. But again, I'm really nervous about that offensive lineman being hurt. Goff's numbers, like his splits under pressure, are just fucking horrendous, like really bad. And obviously they're on the road. It just seems like whenever perception's high on them, they shit the bed, right? Like they beat the shit out of one team, went into San Francisco, got their ass whooped. It's like it just seemed to be, like that. They're like that. The Higbee, what do you call it? The Higbee Everett situation? They're playing close enough, snap wise. Like it's close enough to where you just take the savings. I agree. I will have a Higbee team, but I do think that Everett does a little bit more for us. I'm good with the kickers as well. Where are you at with the running backs, man? And they're a run heavy team, but I just don't know if they're gonna have the success.
Yeah, no success. Like I said, I don't like none of them except Akers because he's cheap and dynamic enough to maybe get you a little something, something, and the value kind of allows you to get better shit into your lineup. One thing I wanted to say is like, to me, Josh Reynolds, Cooper Kupp, like go hand in hand with Goff. Robert Woods, you don't have to have Goff because he could do it throwing, he could do it running. He's been getting like 2 to 3 handoffs a game. Like as you're building your lineups out, like it's tough to get a great lineup that you love with both quarterbacks, because of the way the pricing works. So if you got Woods in there, I don't think you need to go with Goff. You can, but I don't think you must. As like if Kupp or Reynolds end up being like the stud play of the slate, then Goff probably had a pretty good game with them.
I'll let you boy when you see him squeeze style. What about on the Bucs side, bro?
So pretty much the same thing, except I do like the run game from the Bucs. I think the Rams can be beat on the ground. Really like the way that Ronald Jones has run this year, and I think Fournette, especially if they're playing from behind, at his price, could be one of the better point per dollar plays on the slate. It's like that comes down to like build. I would not have both of them in the same lineup. I think like Ronald Jones fits better in builds where you think they play from ahead and like how that plays out. And Fournette is more from the trailing build. So that's kind of how I'm going to separate them. And Fournette at his price I like, but also I just think Ronald Jones is going to be kind of like lower owned for like where he should be. So he's an interesting play for me. At receiver, I like them all, but Godwin's my favorite, followed by Antonio Brown, followed by Mike Evans. And I don't even mind a little bit of Scotty Miller at 1-4. At tight end, it's meh. Rob Gronkowski's a little too expensive, and I don't see him really doing too much today. Love Succop, the kicker, and I'm all right with the defense. But like I said, I think these teams really score a ton and ultimately declines the defense's total score.
All day, all day. Yeah, I think I love the Bucs offense. This is the offense that I like a little bit more. I'm good with Brady. I'm good with Brady and the captain because I think he's capable of spreading the ball out. Even if you take Evans out of the equation, which like I'll talk about him in a second, but even if you take Evans out of the equation, assuming Ramsey's covering him, you got Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, and Rob Gronkowski just as your main cast. So I think Brady gets it done. I also like Godwin and Antonio Brown more. I'm starting to wonder if everyone is starting to stay away from Evans. We've seen situations like this where the number one receiver has a tough matchup. Everybody kind of backs away, and then he ends up scoring a couple touchdowns. Similarly to like Adam Thielen, that was a big one, right? Oh, Thielen never has big games against the Bears, and then he didn't have a great game, but he did get in the end zone on a one-game slate. It mattered. So part of me is a little nervous, but I agree with Paulie. I mean, Godwin and Brown. We're saving some money, and I assume that Ramsey is going to shadow Evans, but is Evans more shadow worthy than Antonio Brown or Chris Godwin at this point? Like I don't know. Gronkowski is one of my favorite options simply because number one, obviously Brady's been throwing to him a ton, he's running a ton of routes, but also the Rams. That's been one of their weaknesses is dealing with tight ends. So. I do like Gronkzilla. I'm really high on the Bucs offense in general. In the running back situation, I agree with. I think that in Brady teams, I want Fournette. Like they've made it very clear that Fournette is the pass catching guy. But on non-Brady teams, I think I want Ronald Jones because I think if they score a touchdown on the ground, that meaning Brady had nothing to do with it. I think it's because Ronald Jones did. So I'm there. Suck up. I like also as a value play, and I'm not crazy on the defenses. I just couldn't get teams that I liked with them in there. But if I was going to play one, it'd be the Bucs because I do think they get some sacks today. I think they force Goff to make some bad throws. Treesies, all Deesies, and that's what I'm saying. Talk to me about some captains, bro.
Josh Reynolds, number one. I'll have a ton of him in the captain slot. He's like that cheap enough price with the upside, like if this game is a shootout, I really think he gets involved. And he allows you to still kind of get a nice build, but it's mostly receivers, right? Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. If I had to rank them, I'd go Reynolds, Godwin, Kupp. Cooper Kupp. Over. Rams.
I had myself muted. Damn it. I don't spiel. So you already gave. You're on the over. I think I said over also because of the 48 total. I did say over. My bad, nation. And then Paulie, you guys heard Paulie obviously, so you heard Paulie say that he's on the Rams. I bet on the Bucs minus foe. In reality, what I'm gonna do, and I recommend those of you who make bets, like not you don't have to just have action when the game starts. Try to wait for live, and see if you can get -3. See if you can get a pick 'em, something like that. I was able to get the Chiefs -3 last night live.
Yeah. The Rams scored first.
All day, blah, bliggity. That's how that goes. Yes. Yeah, my bad, nation. For the mute button. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We really appreciate you guys. The likes go a long way. Really help us out. Allow us to continue to do what we do. Just a reminder on the schedule. Again, tomorrow night, myself, Patio Joe, late night with the first look for Week 12. Wednesday,
Right.
Y stream action. Myself, Patio Joe, going to talk about some Thanksgiving action. Thursday, you'll come at ysec.com if you're a member. And if not, you can get the week pass, whatever. If you get a week pass for this week, you double dip and you get that coverage plus you get the Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Set trip all day. So Paulie D be writing his GPP breakdown. Patio Joe on the cash games. I'll do the core plays. Go check it out there. Shout out to MG. Paulie, anything in closing before we get up out of here?
Nah, yo, do the dirty. Flash drafts. Tonight could be a really good flash draft night. And this is the best fucking week of the year. Thanksgiving, best holiday of life. Love the football 3-game slate. And then Sunday, gloriousness. Most people haven't done enough research because they're fucking hungover from Thanksgiving. And we gonna put it in that ass.
Putting it asses all day. All day.
day.
For Paulie D, for myself, the entire White Tech Nation, as always, good luck.
Peace.
Yeah.